This is a 1947 Ford Coupe, and it is absolutely beautiful. This is a very, very, very pretty driver. And I mean, depending on the car shows you go to, this is a show car. Really, I mean, it's not a high-end show car, but for just about any of your normal, you know, drive-in spots. Power windows. Cold air conditioning, hot heat. You know, really, this is an opportunity for somebody to get into this car significantly cheaper than the guys got in it. Spent over $35,000 building this car about 15 years ago, and didn't put a whole lot of miles on it. Very low miles. It's got a Chevy 350 V8 crate engine in it. It's got a 700R Ford transmission that I just had rebuilt. It's got, the transmission's got a 1-year, 12,000 mile warranty, and it's probably got about 150 miles on the tranny right now, because I've been driving the car some, but just hanging around town mostly. Digital dash, fuel gauge, voltmeter, oil, heat of the water, temperature of the water, and speedometer all work. RPMs, you can see that work. The CD player, it's an older model, and need to spend $125 at the CD player at the Radio Shack shop or stereo shop and have that one replaced. This has got a great sounding engine. It's not too aggressive. It's got a nice sound to it, and with that 700R Ford, boy, you giddy ups and keeps on going. Should be able to lift the hood with one hand. Hood springs work. Nice clean engine. Absolutely beautiful under the hood. Show quality. Firewall there. Of course, all the lights work, horn works. Kind of a weak horn, but it does work. Now the windows, power windows, they connect right here, and they only work if the door's closed. So we have to close the door. Driver's side works great, up and down, very easily. Passenger side, it's a little sticky. It's in the going up, and I think I would probably recommend, what I'll do is grab it with my hand and kind of help it up just a hair. Probably recommend getting that just adjusted just a little bit. It does go up and down, it just needs a little help on the up. These are the thing that's kind of keeping it from being perfect. Tilt steering wheel inside. We'll turn the car off. Power disc brakes. It's got a Mustang 2 front end. It does not have power steering. Of course, power steering is easy to put on a Mustang 2 front end, but right now, you honestly, once you get the car just even barely rolling, you would never know that it doesn't have power steering. It steers super nice. I just took it to the Atlanta Motor Speedway car show this weekend. Drove it around, ran some errands in it, just kind of trying to keep it out on the road, keep it driving. This is a beautiful, beautiful driver. So somebody spent a lot of money doing the billet. We've already kind of seen the interior some. The clock does work. It holds the correct time. Oh, another thing I'd do is have somebody put a 5x7 speaker in here. That would be nice to put one in there too. So maybe 150 bucks on the stereo. Honestly, the car doesn't need anything. Latch here for the hood, for the trunk, just pop that up. The trunk opens right up. As long as we're in here, I'll just show off the interior real quick. Very nice tweed cloth interior. Of course, you can see where I've been sitting here, and after if you give it a half an hour or so, that'll kind of go away. It's kind of got like the springs and the foam in there that are, you know, holding a cushion to the shape of my butt. Very, very nice, you know, back seats, all beautifully upholstered. Everything matches, all matching tweed, and even a custom job here over the trim with the split windshield and everything. Beautifully painted. Dashboard, vintage air. ice cold air conditioning. It's a 134A, of course. And I gotta keep remembering, I'm gonna take the keys out because otherwise I'll lock myself out. Although it does have an emergency release underneath the back. So of course the outside, the body is aero straight. The paint looks almost new. It's got a couple of super minor little things that you know, could stand to be touched up. As we walk around, I'll show there's one tiny little spot there and one tiny little spot there. I mean, not even a quarter the size of your fingernail. One little spot on the door here, same. Couple of little spots that could just be basically be touched up and burned in by a professional painter. For less than 200 bucks, you could touch up the spots or just not touch them up. I mean, why the hell do it? Because it looks freaking nice the way it is. And one little spot back here on the trunk. There's a little spot right here, and it's hard to catch in the camera because it's just so small. Weather stripping around the trunk is in good shape. Like I said, this body's aero straight. The paint looks like it just got painted a year ago. I mean, it looks brand new. I want to say the paint's probably, you know, it might be 10 years old, but being buffed out and waxed and everything, you can't tell. All the chrome strips are in really good shape with just a hair of a minor dimple in just this one right here. And boy, you've just got to catch it in the right light to see it. Just barely the size of my thumb, a spot barely pushed in. Brand new American racing wheels with a stagger front to rear. I believe they're 15s both in the front and rear, but the bigger tire in the back and a little wider rim in the back, smaller tire and smaller rim in the front. I'm going to say 15 by 7s in the 15 by 8s in the back, 15 by 7s in the front. It's got a retractable license plate. It needs to be troubleshot just a little bit. I disconnected it because it was draining the battery, and it's probably just a real simple fix. The spring needs to be replaced on it. The trunk is the worst part of the car just because it's older carpet and it's been used, taken to a lot of car shows. We just took it to the car show the other day, threw some coolers and chairs back here, and so being used, it's just gotten a little scuffed up and stained. It's still fine, it's just not show quality. So if you go to a car show, pull your stuff out of the trunk and lock the trunk back up and don't show anybody the trunk. But of course, you know, excellent condition here. A little bit of residual wax there from waxing the car and buffing it out. The trunk pops down and locks. Of course, everything's shaved. Trunk handle's been shaved, door handles have been shaved, everything works off the popper. I've got two sets of keys for it. And there you go. And just walk up to the car, pop it, and it's ready to go. It does have an emergency popper underneath, and that is underneath the back, located underneath the back, just right here. And if you get down low, if you lock yourself out, you can pop it from underneath. And I believe it also has a manual release somewhere behind, inside this rear wheel well, in case the battery goes out and you can't pop it without the battery. The rear windows do not go up and down. I'm not sure if they did from the factory or not. I don't know that they did from the factory. They may have been stationary windows. So there you have it. This is an absolutely beautiful car, and actually I need to do one more thing, show the undercarriage. So if you put it up on a rack and blasted it back down, well, not sandblasted it maybe, but hit it with a wire wheel in certain spots and repainted it, it would be show quality underneath. You can see though that the paint's faded. Mustang 2 front end, independent front suspension, rack and pinion steering, power disc brakes. I mean, this thing is flawless underneath though. Like I said, it's not show quality. I wouldn't put a mirror under here per se, but it really wouldn't take much to take it to show quality if that you like putting a mirror under your car. New MagnaFlow exhaust, all original frame under here, excellent condition. There's your power brake booster. Like I said, brand new transmission. It's a 700 R4. Just got rebuilt under warranty. Oh, the BF Goodrich tires are also brand new. Super clean. rust-free floor pans. Actually, this is I'm going to say this is a 100% rust-free car. I haven't seen any rust on it. So when this car was built, I mean, this was a frame-off restoration. They took the body off the frame. They blasted the frame. They painted the frame. They put the car back together, painted it all. All the paint matched. It was all the same color. So this indeed was a frame-off restored vehicle. The last time that it was restored. Like I said, approximately 15-year-old restoration. Still shows like it was done a year ago, with it being a driver and a couple of little things. Like I said, those couple of small paint chips that I mentioned, which are super tiny. Other than that, the radio in it. In fact, the radio is the perfect indicator of when it was restored. That's probably from probably a 2001, 2002 stereo in it. So that's how I can tell when it was restored. That's a good way to check that out. So all the weather stripping appears to be new. The vehicle's always been in the garage. I keep it in the garage. I kind of hate to see it go. This is one of the most fun cars that I've driven. It drives immaculately perfect. I love the way it drives. I let my wife drive it. I would let my daughter drive it. That's how reliable mechanically it is, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I think somebody's getting a freaking heck of a deal on a car. It would cost you $35,000 or $40,000 to build one like this, you know. And this is, you know, one man's loss is another man's gain. Absolutely stunning.